Dancing is for people who are free. My Twitter poll told me to go see Jojo Rabbit. So I did, and I'm really glad I did. It is a World War II satire movie, absolutely brilliant, unlike anything I've ever seen before. Jojo Rabbit is a mix between Anne Frank, My Girl, and Springtime for Hitler. It follows a 10-year-old boy named Jojo, and he basically loves Nazis. He ends up finding a Jewish girl in his house that his mom has been hiding. Her name is Elsa, and he gets to know this Jewish girl. This really starts to change Jojo's mind about Jews and Nazis. Here's a little funny story about my theater experience. When I was in the theater waiting for Jojo Rabbit to start, this worker comes in and is like, "Hey everyone, I know it's super cold in here. We're calling in emergency backup to fix the heat. If you want a refund for your ticket, that's fine. If you want to stay and deal with the cold, that's fine too." So I said, you know what? I cannot let down my people. I need to watch this movie. So I did. The actors in this movie were absolutely great. I loved Scarlett Johansson. She was absolutely beautiful. I loved her style. Rebel Wilson was so funny. She's always really funny, so she definitely added great comic relief to the film. And Taika Waititi, he played a great Adolf Hitler. He was funny, quirky, but yet realistic at the same time. The music in this movie was also pretty fun and unique. I got to hear the Beatles. I am definitely a Beatles fan. This movie just felt so wrong, but it was so right. I am Jewish myself, and I live in a very Jewish area, so the people in the movie theater with me were probably Jewish as well. And I almost felt bad for laughing hysterically at the Heil Hitler scenes, where they just kept saying Heil Hitler over and over again. And at times I felt like I was the only one laughing, and I'm like, why am I the only one who thinks this is funny? So I felt kind of bad, but I had a really good time. I also found the Jewish stereotypes in the movie to be pretty funny. There were some that I had never heard before, and I don't know if they're actually real stereotypes or just made up for the movie. So there's Jews have horns, which is something a lot of people have said for years and years. There is Jews smell like Brussels sprouts, never heard that one. We mate with fish, really? And rabbis use the ends of penises for earplugs. Now, we'll get to circumcision in another video one day. Although this movie was mostly a comedy, there were a lot of historical elements to it that were very accurate. For example, Jojo went to a Hitler youth camp. I saw book burning, scrap metal collecting for the war effort, propaganda posters all over the place, Jews hiding in people's homes. People in the resistance movement were hanged publicly. And they also cited poetry from Rilke. One question I kept asking myself while I was watching this movie was, would I ever lie to save myself and others? So as a Jewish person, would I ever lie and pretend I'm not Jewish just to get away from the Nazis? Or if I was hiding a Jewish person in my house, would I lie and say that person was not there? It's really important to know what your values are and how far you're really willing to go to fight for your freedoms. I definitely laughed a lot more than I was sad in this movie, but the ending really got to me. I had tears building up in my eyes. I'm not gonna give it away, but it has to do with the quote that I said at the very beginning of this video. You know, sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying, and I think that's what this movie did, is it kept you laughing about how ridiculous war and prejudice really are. I think the overall message of Jojo Rabbit is that you can't just blindly accept things as fact. You need to open up your mind to new people and ideas. That's how change happens. I give Jojo Rabbit 2 bunny ears up. I absolutely loved the movie. If you want to laugh your ass off and learn a little bit about history, then I highly recommend you go see it.
Thanks for watching my Jojo Rabbit review video today. Please like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And as always, be free.